to school there, kindergarten through 12. Went to Alpena Community College, graduated from there in '57. My understanding is, not my remembrance, that I was carried to church when I was about 2 weeks old. But I was always active in church. My family was active in church. I went to Sunday school. I was in youth group. I sang in the choir. And as near as I knew, that's the way it worked. That's what it was all about. When I graduated from ACC and couldn't afford to go on to day school, I couldn't play football like Wayne, so I moved to Chicago to go to night school. Rick says he works in Chicago, and I told him, been there, done that, so moved on. Got to Chicago, and a fellow at work and I got an apartment on the north side, and when Sunday came, I went out and walked down the street to look for a church. Found one, Balak Way, Joanna Memorial Presbyterian Church. It was a little different from the church in which I grew up. They did a lot more Bible study, and they talked a lot more about Scripture. And I, at first, was a little uneasy with that, but I got to really enjoy it and got into Scripture, got into reading my Bible. And then when Labor Day week, well, I need to back up just a little bit. Before I moved to Chicago to go to school, Ann and I got engaged, and we were engaged to be married at the end of September. The church I was attending, I was in their youth group, and they announced that they were having a Labor Day retreat. Would I like to go? And I said, no, I don't think so, thank you. And they said, oh, come on. And I came up with a few different excuses, a few different times to a few different people. And one of my last excuses was, look, I'm getting married in a couple weeks, and I'm saving my money, and I can't really afford to do this right now. And this kindly lady said, as you know, I teach the 6th grade girls Sunday school class. And we save money all year for the project, and we'd like to sponsor you to the youth retreat. You can't say no to that. So I went. Our speaker for the weekend was an evangelist for the Presbytery of the U.S. He was a Welshman. His name was Peter Joshua. And he was about this tall. And when he preached, he popped up on his tiptoes like this, and every once in a while he clapped like that. And if anybody was sleeping, I woke him up. He was a great speaker. And we went to the Norman Bar Christian Camp in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, which is a couple-hour drive north of Chicago. A lot of young people there, and drove up Friday night. Saturday, we played lake volleyball and ate a lot, and we had a couple meetings and worship sessions. Saturday night we did. Sunday morning we had a worship service, a chapel service, and played in the lake some more. And Sunday night, Peter Joshua spoke and really gave a great gospel message and talked about salvation. Not just about going to church, not just about singing in the choir, but about receiving Christ in your heart. They again, this was a little new to me, but I had started to pick it up from the church services I've been attending, and it was starting to take seed. And at the Sunday night service, Dr. Joshua gave an invitation. I didn't go forward for it, but I went back to my cabin and climbed in my bunk and prayed quite a bit. And I said, Lord, I don't really understand a lot of this very well, but I want to be a Christian for whatever that means. I want to turn my life over to you, and I did. 67 years ago today, and for that I am